Hello and welcome to the Melon Buffet podcast. I'm Tara.
And I'm Charlie. Hello.
And here we are having a bit of deja fucking vu. Because we're doing episode 9 again.
And 10.
Well, and we're doing 10, yes. So, yeah we had some unfortunate software issues that fucked one side of the audio, and just fucked it, and I couldn't recover it because I don't have that level of technical know-how, and the only person I could probably reach out to that would help me is kind of an asshole, so I wasn't going to do that. So here we are.
You don't even need to tell me who that is. I know who you mean.
Well, yeah, exactly. So so we're going to do episode 9 over again, and hopefully we capture all the magic that we had.
Probably not. Probably not.
And then we'll do episode 10, and we'll see what happens. So I don't know. Let's just get into it. Air horn, Andy.
I was gonna press the thing and I forgot.
Yeah, we're trying out some new. We're trying to get a little more fancy here, and we're trying to get soundboards going and things like that. It's exhausting.
Yeah, I've made a soundboard with one noise on it, and here it is. Let's go.
Yeah, but at least it works because, last series I made a soundboard with like 50 sounds and couldn't ever get it to play. So you're still ahead of where I was.
It's only one sound, so we'll do that at the start of, to punctuate some stuff, I guess. I did find some other ones that had some good noises on them, but they're nothing to do with Taskmaster, but I might add them in anyway just for a laugh. But yeah, I'll do that.
Shut me up when I go off on a tangent. Okay, so prize task. Best. Yeah, see this little. She's gonna get drunk with power, folks. This is not gonna end well.
Let's go.
All right, best bedding.
Hooray.
So, all right. So let's go right in. Mawan had the ostrich pillow.
The ostrich travel pillow.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's a napping pillow. It's priced at £85, and it's described on the website as a cocoon-like pillow that helps block out light and provide absolute comfort to disconnect from the world. Who doesn't need one of those right now?
Yeah, I mean, I like the disconnect from the world, but I mean, first of all, I have a massive head. Second of all, so I don't think it would be comfortable, but it's just claustrophobic. And I'm not generally claustrophobic, but that thing just made me feel like I couldn't breathe just looking at it, even though it had holes. I don't know.
It had holes to put your arms in and stuff. And a little peepee hole to, not to pee out of, but to peep out of.
Peek.
Shouldn't have said peepee, I should have said peeping. Right, okay. Whatever. I didn't say that last time, I know that much.
I feel like we're going to laugh a lot this episode, but for completely different reasons. I don't know. Because it's just ridiculous. Catherine, silk sheets.
Yeah. She said she'd never used them, and she just brought that in because she wanted to get some. Now, whether she meant get some silk sheets by winning or, get some, we'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, because if she thought she was going to get some by winning, she was really being tragically optimistic. Love her to death, but yeah.
Yeah, she's not covered herself in. I mean, I think she's sweetly naive.
I absolutely adore her, but yes, she was not going to win the silk sheets.
No.
Daisy, which I think this is something everybody could relate to, is just clean cotton sheets.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. I almost bought a teddy bear duvet set this week. Because it feels nice to touch, like this teddy bear fabric. But I like to have a cool pillow, so I thought against it because I don't think that's the type of material. Like cotton is nice and cool and clean and lovely and fresh, crisp, and teddy bears aren't like that, are they?
No, they're warm and
That might have been a good one to bring in though, because we know that Greg likes teddies.
He does have an affection, for teddy, so that might have worked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm all with Daisy. There is nothing like slipping into a freshly made bed. It does. I don't care how often or infrequently you change your sheets. That first time you slide into those clean sheets, it's like the best sleep you have because it's so comfortable.
Yeah, it's nice. So then Johnny brought in some lamb's wool, and at least it looked clean, unlike that stuff that Mel Gilroy brought in that time. that looked like it had just come fresh from the sheep field.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was going down the angle of bedding for birds.
Yeah, nesting material. Yeah, fine. I don't know. There's not really much to say about it. It was
I wouldn't like to sleep on it.
Bunch of lamb's wool. I mean, it'd probably be warm if you did stuff a comforter or something with it, but I don't know. What's
a comforter? A duvet?
Well, it's like a duvet, but it doesn't have a removable cover, so you put it over a top sheet.
So like a blanket on top of a duvet?
Duvets aren't really that popular here. We have the bottom sheet and a top sheet, and then we have a comforter usually over the top.
It's because it's warm where you live, like sometimes, isn't it? Like it's not warm where I live.
But I mean, comforters are like duvets; they just don't have removable covers, so it basically takes the place of one.
Can you put them in the washing machine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just put the whole thing in the wash. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You couldn't.
But then you usually have a sheet under that, so you don't have to wash it as frequently. You wash the top sheet instead.
Okay, let's stop talking about washing.
I know. So that's when you got to hit the sound to shut me up. To stop.
I'll get an air horn or something to make us stop talking shit. I'll get something like that. Yeah.
All right, and that. Well, I mean, Richard. Clearly, this was going to be the winner with his Alex and Greg pillows.
Mm-hmm. And not much to say about that, except where did you get it and where can we get one? That's it.
Exactly. I mean, it wasn't even just that they were Alex and Greg pillows. It was the particular photos that he chose, the expressions on them that were just made them that much better. It was amazing. It was amazing. So obviously he got the 5 points. Moan got 4, 3 for Daisy, and 2 each for Catherine and Johnny because he was just being kind and decided not to give anyone 1 point.
That's it. Prize task done.
Done. All right.
Hey, that's where it's going to go.
We're still working out the system, folks.
Yeah, it might get annoying. Please tell us if it's annoying, especially if you listen on headphones. I mean, we're annoying enough. You don't need. Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. So now we're in the house for build the biggest beer mat house on this table. While making your house, you must ring the bell after exactly 1 minute.
Oh, I wish I had a
then again
noise.
after 58 seconds, then 56 seconds, and so on. Mm-hmm. More than 2 mistakes with the bell, and you're disqualified. Your time will end with the last press of the doorbell.
Yeah, tricky one, this, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great though.
It was good.
Catherine. We'll start with Catherine because that's where she continually forgot about the doorbell. And by the end of it, I really do believe that she was very close to a serious mental collapse. I was concerned for her mental health because she started off, Catherine, the doorbell. Oh, okay. Like, her little impressionable self. She listens. She does what she's told. She walks out, but then she just fell apart.
Yeah, she lost it. She didn't seem really sure how to make a beer mat house, which probably tells you a lot about her upbringing. Entirely more upper class than at least us anyway. She's not great with the time pressure.
No.
And then, like you say, she just lost her mind and chucked them all on the floor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she took the model house and started trying to stack them on that, and that didn't work. So then she went and got the glue, and then it just all apart. And yeah, she had like a toddler tantrum and just threw it across, knocked it on the floor, and I mean, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
It makes for good TV, that's all.
Yeah, I think if the series was any longer than it actually was, we would see her properly break down at some point.
I'm convinced of that, absolutely. I love her to death, but she seems a bit fragile, at least in this type of situation.
Yeah, she's just, like I say, sweetly naive.
Yeah.
Who was next?
Daisy was, she was pretty good. She was, paying attention, watching the clock. They did at least have a clock in the room for them to watch. It wasn't one of these where you got to try and count the 58 seconds in your head, and because that would have just been pure evil. But yeah, so she was pretty good.
Yeah, she used sellotape for structural support at first, but then she just abandoned the idea and made a abstract structure with a pile of mats, basically,
with a hole in the middle for living space. Now, Moan, he clocked pretty quickly the way to get around it. He was like, fuck this, ripped the doorbell right off the outside and brought it with him.
It was a genius move by Moan. It's worked out for him this time. You know, he's always trying to think around the task, and he bang on this time, like, definitely.
Yeah. And then, he tried a few things out, and then, again, he's like, fuck this, just big stack, and then added a little flourish at the top, and we've got a lighthouse.
Yeah, it was going to be a block of flats, I think, initially, but then he had the brilliant idea to make it into a lighthouse.
Or as Catherine said, oh wow, it's a windmill.
Yeah. She's so cute.
Richard. All I've written for Richard is blood on the doorbell. Blood on the door. Yeah,
well, he started out, he used the model of the house as a base and kind of just lay the beer mats around it whilst he was running in and out madly and ended up hurting himself in the process. So, yeah, there was blood everywhere. Blood on the door, blood on the doorbell, blood everywhere.
I don't even know what he actually cut himself on.
I think maybe it must have been the little decorative bit around the actual bell, perhaps.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, because it was like kind of mounted to a block of wood.
Yeah.
And then, so it might have had a rough edge.
Yeah.
Health and safety, Alex. Health and safety.
They're usually really good with that too. Yeah. But you can't account for Richard, so.
Now Johnny. Oh, poor Johnny. I mean, he was killing it. He had that classic House of Cards technique. Mm-hmm. It was going nice and big. The Vegas villas were rising high. And then...
He's obviously got, skills there. He tried to make some... I can't think of the word. Adhesive by licking the beer mats, which is disgusting, but never mind. I mean, those ones were probably clean, but don't do that in pubs, people, especially at the moment.
Oh, well,
if you can get in a pub,
True.
They're all shut. Yeah, if you're at home and you got your own beer mats, then feel free. But when he got really angry though, didn't he, when it came down?
Oh, well, I mean, can you blame him? Because, I mean, he was really making progress. He probably would have had the biggest house.
Yeah, he was. If only he'd thought to bring in the doorbell like my wife.
But then his face, like when they cut to him in the studio, it was just like heartbreaking. He was just like a little toddler who just had his sandcastle kicked over on the beach, Yeah,
he was genuinely invested in that one. And he should have done well, But as is the way in Taskmaster, the things you think you'll be good at, you not necessarily are, maybe absolutely terrible. Character building.
Yeah. So we had 0.2 disqualifications, both Catherine and Johnny.
Yep.
3 points for Richard, 4 for Daisy, and obviously 5 for Moan. It's going to take getting used to, folks. All right.
Is it really loud?
No, it's not. I mean, to me.
Good.
And I'll hopefully, level that out in editing if it does come through loud.
Yeah, we'll see. I've turned it right up on my phone, but,
Send an email to melonbuffet@gmail.com.
Yeah.
If you hate it or if you love it. All right.
Dara's not fan, I don't think. Oh, wait, on we go. Task 2 is in the warehouse, so this was complete the most tasks. There is one task behind each door. You may choose the order to open the doors. You may only move when the doors are moving, and you must stay this side of the line. During the task, you must tell Alex which door to open within 1 minute of the previous door closing. You must tell Alex which door to open first within 1 minute from now. That was a mouthful. So, yeah.
All right. So we had 5 doors.
Mm-hmm.
The first door, throw 10 yellow things through this door. Door number 2, kick 3 orange things through this door. Door number 3 was empty the bucket and put both of your shoes in it. 4, eat a whole banana. And 5, sit on the bucket and completely peel an orange and a banana.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I mean, this one was insanity.
It was madness, yeah. It's complicated, complex, not time pressure as well, obvious. Classic Taskmaster type task, obviously. But there was a right order to do it in, and I think that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which Catherine almost set out to do until Alex meddled. And being the easily swayed individual that she is, she ended up going 1, no, 3, no, 4, and then start on a number 4. And
I actually think 1, 2, 3, 5, 4 would have been the best order.
Yeah?
Assuming you didn't throw away the banana after you peeled it, because then you'd already have it peeled to eat it.
Okay. 2 good solutions then. You could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. But would you keep the banana though? You'd just be stressed.
I don't know. Well, and that's just assuming you haven't already kicked all the bananas or throw all the bananas through the door at number 1.
I mean, it could
that's
be
the thing.
Yeah. Who knows?
That's the whole thing. Yeah, like any one of these tasks could have fucked you for one of the other doors. So there may not really be a perfect order. Because a lot of times when there is, Alex tells us after.
Yeah, this
was the best way to do it. And he didn't really. Yeah, that's a good question. So Richard did 2.5 tasks.
Yeah.
Johnny got 2.3. I don't have one. I don't know if they said for Catherine and Mawan. I mean, everybody got their shoes in the bucket from what I remember.
Catherine got shoes in the bucket. She didn't get any orange things through the door. She peeled the chocolate orange and some of the banana. So, yeah, maybe 1 and a bit.
Yeah. I mean,
Who else are you
Daisy
talking about?
did seem to have the best, like, methodical approach. You know, she picked up the bucket and the bowl, had everything with her, and moved right down the line.
Yeah, she took the stuff with her. She was thinking instead of panicking. Yeah.
Yeah. And she got 3 tasks out of it. And genius, really. Compared to everybody else, she nailed it. So 5 points for Daisy, 4 for Richard, 3 for Johnny, 2 for Mawan, and 1 for little Catherine.
Pity points.
Pity points. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I got to keep remembering that's coming. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Is it frightening you?
No, it's surprising because,
Not used to it.
Yeah.
You can always cut it out. It's your prerogative as editor.
Well, we'll just see how it is. We'll see how it goes.
Task 3. Now, Alex said this was the very first task that they all attempted on the very first date. So he greeted them with an air horn, right?
Of course.
I could have had that on my soundboard, man. Just thought about it.
But you could tell. I mean, you look at them. They came in the door looking so optimistic because Alex hadn't yet broken their spirit. He hadn't yet worn them down. They just were like so happy to be there compared to some of the other tasks where they just look like they want to murder Alex in his sleep. So yeah, go ahead. What are we doing here in the very first task?
Okay, so it was in the house. It was in the lab. And the task was work out how many balls are in the basket. Every ball must be in the basket when you make your guess. Closest to the correct answer wins, and they had 4 minutes. So yeah. Yeah,
I think my approach would have been closest to Johnny's. Is I would have immediately dumped them, assuming I could just count and start chucking them back in. And obviously that would have been a massive, massive failure. But that was really the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
To do it.
Well, I would have done the trying to estimate how many are, height, width, and depth. Yeah. And calculate it that way, and then probably add a few on. Which, again, would have been wildly wrong as well, because as we know now, what we didn't know just from looking at it, Alex had hidden all different sizes of balls in the basket that you wouldn't have found unless you pulled them all out.
Yeah, I mean, I just laughed that they all suddenly decided, they're all turned into Rain Man and they're going to start doing calculations and trying to figure things out, but that was never gonna be successful that way.
No, well, I don't think. You may as well just picking a number, with this task,
which in the end is what Johnny did, and had he actually gotten all the balls back in the basket before he made his guess, he would have won.
Yeah, but he only got about half of them in there, and he was going great guns, so I don't think it was doable.
No. But he was the only one who found the little box full of the ball bearings, but of course he didn't dump them out to see that the answer was written inside.
Yeah. Sneaky Alex.
Mawan was, he was, figuring out these low numbers. No, that's way too low. And then he added like 4.
Yeah, for his heapage contingency.
Heapage contingency. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Catherine, was like 500. She's asking Alex, do you think that's right? Does 500 sound good? Like, he's not going to tell you, yes, Catherine, I realize this was the first task, but you can kind of tell who's never seen the show before or doesn't really watch it.
Yeah, well, she did both approaches, really, didn't she? She tried to guess, and then with a minute to go, she threw them all over the floor.
Yeah. And then, of course, she missed one underneath, so she was disqualified.
And she took too much time as well to get them all back in. She made her guess after like 10 minutes or something. So. Yeah.
So Catherine guessed 498,
mm-hmm.
but again, she missed one underneath, so she was disqualified. Daisy guessed 555. Mawan was 162. That included the heapage contingency. Richard 395, and Johnny was closest at 1100 because the actual number was 1192. But Johnny and Catherine disqualified. So 3 for Mawan, 4 for Richard, and 5 for Daisy. But this was a good task. I mean, it was a good way to start. Really drop them right into the deep end.
Good introduction to the game, but is it a game?
Competition,
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Still weren't ready, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so then we had the live task. Draw the monster the taskmaster is going to describe. Most accurate drawing wins. You have 2 minutes from when the taskmaster starts talking. You want to read out the description of the monster?
Sure. I have a little story time here. The angry monster has 3 arms, 2 of which are lumpy. She has 2 eyes, and 2 more eyes, and 1 leg, and 2 more eyes, and a huge tusk that looks like a tree. She is urinating and waving and holding a cake. She is stripy all over and is very, very cold, and has 3 more legs, and is doing a star jump. She has a pet dog who is small and furry and red and black and has 1 leg missing. Yeah. 19 criteria, according to Alex.
Yep. So the approach, other than Daisy and Richard, everyone just tried to draw as he was describing. Yeah. Daisy made some notes and left it till quite near the end before she started drawing, and Richard did similar, but he signed his like a good little boy. The thing that stood out to me is the way that Catherine says urine, which me and, we've been saying since. We don't talk about urine a lot. Urine? See, I don't even know how to say it.
I know, now I don't know what's right.
It's now urine in this house. Because of that task. Excuse my squeaky chair. So Catherine's had too many eyes, and she said urine in a weird way. Johnny's was quite good, I thought.
Yeah.
Moan's, we spoke about his, didn't we? It was like an angry maple leaf.
As you said, it was a bit more Canadian than he intended.
Yeah. Angry maple leaf. I think it'll make a good sports mascot, though.
Yeah.
That one.
I mean, Daisy, considering she drew the entire thing in the last 30 seconds, was pretty fucking good because she got 10 of the criteria.
She did. Moan and Johnny got 11. And Richard got 14.
And Catherine also got 10, so...
Yeah.
3 points each to Catherine and Daisy, 4 each to Johnny and Moan, and Richard, 5 points for 14 of the 19 criteria.
Which is pretty good going.
Yeah. And that's episode 9. In short form this week.
Yeah. We did have the series scores and stuff on the original record. I've got the episode scores. So that episode was Catherine with 6, Johnny with 9, Moan with 18, Daisy with 20, and Richard wins with 21. And we did talk about the series scores, but I haven't written them down. So
yeah, there's no
it's
point.
Changed since then, obviously, because we've had episode 10.
So, and we had not discussed Melon Buffet Master on that because we decided that we were going to save the rest of the results for the New Year's Treat episode. So we'll talk a little more about that at the end of this, but we're going to jump right into episode 10. dog meat trifle. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dog meat trifle. Yeah. This is gonna get bad because this is gonna tempt me to get my soundboard working, and it's gonna be like dueling fucking sounds. We're gonna be blowing whistles at each other. This is gonna be our downfall.
Hey, it's amusing me. So
I mean, I'm having a ball right now, so that's fine. It's erased all of my anger over losing episode 9. Okay. All right, so episode 10, Dog Meat Trifle, the grand final. Here we are.
Yep. And so, straight in, prize task, the greatest collection. Now, I think you've probably got loads of collections of things. What have you? I know you collect cookbooks. What else?
Have vintage cookbooks. I've got skulls. I've got...
Not human skulls, though. We did talk about this
just like skull-related decor, Mexican, like sugar skulls, all sorts of things like that, calaveras, Halloween-type things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it started, but I have somehow a collection of owls. Someone else bought me an owl and then kept buying me owls, and now I've got all these fucking owls. I don't know why, but they're just accumulating. I've got lots of collections. Those aren't the only things.
She's gone quiet because there's something weird she doesn't want to tell us.
No, because I'm just like trying to think. Like I have a lot of crap. I mean, Christ, do we count the massive number of Christmas ornaments that I have? That I'm looking on the floor because there's a whole box of them down there because we haven't finished decorating.
Wait a minute. It's the 22nd of December. You're still decorating. When did you start?
Because Marin didn't come home from school until last week. And it's been a whole fucking thing because, 3 years ago, I bought a brand new pre-lit artificial Christmas tree.
Uh-huh.
And then 2 years ago, all the lights on that stopped working. So I bought like 9 sets of string lights for the tree.
9?
And then... Yeah, we like a lot of lights. We have
it must be a big tree, is it?
It's a 9-foot tree, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big-ass tree. I wouldn't even fit in my house.
And that's only one of the trees that we put up because we're mental.
Fucking hell.
But so I bought all these sets of string lights, and then we're getting ready to put up the tree the other day, and I said, Marin, just plug them in, make sure each set is working. She plugs the first one in. It's not working. None of them worked. None of them.
Oh no.
So now I've got like 4 measly strings of colored lights on this tree that normally go on our other smaller tree, and it looks horrible, and it's just been a whole fucking thing. We take Christmas very seriously here.
Yeah, there's people that do here. I mean, I live in an estate where everyone started decorating outside like a lot. So I went on a hunt to try and find some lights to put outside, but I couldn't get any. And I got angry in the shops, so I just come away. But I'm going to get some for next year. Everyone's got like these lit up reindeers and stuff in their gardens and that. They look really nice, so yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do anything outside this year, and I'm a little bit disappointed, but I couldn't be fucking bothered.
Come on, it's 2020, anything goes.
Yeah.
So, back to the task. Prize task, the greatest collection. Catherine.
I mean, it's a hobby. She's keeping herself busy during lockdown.
They're horrible, though. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but it just looked, I don't know, it's like someone's taken a face and dropped it on the floor. That's just
Greg said he did expect them to be better.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like anything else. When you start a new hobby, nobody's going to be great at something when they start it. It takes time. You got to learn and practice, and there's a lot of shit.
I think she started that hobby, realised she was shit, wanted rid of them. That task came up, bang. Perfect. That's it.
Man. All right. Now, Mawan, on the other hand, with his little painted emoji jars or emo jars.
Yeah, I like them. They were cool. They were nicely done. They were nice to look at. To me, that's what art is, something that's nice to look at.
Not daughter,
that you go, ugh, or that I don't understand this thing.
It must be something. These, not that he's as young as my daughter, but he's younger, because my daughter paints like emojis and memes and things like that. She's taken to doing that at like 3 a.m. when she can't sleep. She gets out these little canvases and she paints like different memes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but yeah, his were cool, and he kissed up to the Taskmaster there and did a special Greg emoji, and it was a very good likeness, I thought.
Yeah, it was a good likeness of him 4 series ago or something like that,
Well, it looked like...
No beard and no glasses. So.
It looked like if Greg was going to be on The Simpsons.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah. He was quite yellow.
Yeah.
At least he didn't make him pallid. He made him as an emoji, which is nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Immortalized as on an emoji. So then Johnny, he brought in a very... he couldn't have been collecting these for very long because they only had 3. but they were vintage
big. So
they were awesome.
Yeah, they were great. So probably it's probably not his full collection, but he probably just brought in a few because they were so big.
Yeah, not spoil it. Let's just say he tweeted that he had to buy them back from the person that won the episodes because he wanted them back, so he had to pay for them, which doesn't surprise me at all.
That's hilarious. Because some people do wonder. I've seen people talk about that on the internet. Like, do the people who win really keep the other things? And they absolutely do. I mean, obviously, if somebody wanted to be, kind, they could give it back, but it's their prizes, their stuff to take.
Yeah, I think I read an interview with Alex recently where someone asked that question and he said, people can make a request to have something back, but it's up to the person that's won them whether they get it or not. Simple as that. That's it. Once it's won, it's won. So Richard brought in some coins and some badges. It was just a collection of shit, wasn't it? It was like, it wasn't a collection of one thing.
Like if you say like, coins. a coin collection, you think, oh my God. And then it was just like, a few coins.
Yeah. I just think
he found a jar on his
he'd gone around the house and found coins that aren't legal to enter anymore and brought them in. Again, trying to get rid of his shit.
And then Daisy brought in a collection of EVPs.
Ah, very clever. I was wondering if you were trying to say the word.
Phenomenon. Yes, I can say it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
a difficult word to say. You see the teacher come out and Greg there when you made her say it over and over and over.
She got there in the end.
Yeah. I just like the idea of her being in hospital, in her bed in hospital on a ward, talking to ghosts when other people are trying to sleep.
I mean, you get bored in the hospital, so,
Yeah, I know, but who has the foresight to... I mean, did she do it on her phone?
Probably use, the voice recorder or something. What do you know?
Proper kit
Where do you stand on the whole ghost, Do you believe...
Well, I've never seen one. Have you?
My logical brain tells me, no, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Don't be stupid. But the house that I grew up in, there was some weird shit in that house.
No, it wasn't just you as a teenager, no?
No. I actually got my father to admit that he experienced a couple things too. And not that I'm saying, oh yes, it's definitely ghosts, but
I don't
some crazy
shit. Not believe, but I don't know that I believe either. I mean, the house my dad stays in, actually, my dad lives in an old cottage in Scotland, just at the Highlands there. When he moved into it, in the loft, he found a uniform of the old man that used to live in the cottage. Now, my dad's since converted the loft into a bedroom for my brother, but there's he's put in a partition wall in the room that's got a cupboard on one side, and on the other side it's got the uniform hanging up because he didn't want to disturb it.
Yeah.
And then get haunted. So my dad definitely believes in that kind of stuff. Because he's like, well, that was here before we were. And I'm like, you're weird. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the previous owners, so before we lived in that house, my aunt and uncle and cousins lived in that house. And then before them, there was he was an artist. And the third floor of the house was an art studio, and there was a big skylight and everything. And evidently he was the typical tortured artist, and he committed suicide out one of the windows of the house. So, yeah.
Shit. Okay.
All right. So cheerful.
That went dark, didn't it?
So we always wondered, is that what's going on in this house,
Okay. What? Now, come on. What kind of things were happening?
All right. So like I said, the house was, there was the ground floor and then 2 floors above it. So then there was 2 rooms there. And I used to be home alone all the time. And not people would say like, oh, I hear creaking or this. Like I would actually hear someone walking up to the attic stairs. You know, like I'd hear the door open and, you know, and if you sat in the one room on the second floor directly across from those stairs, you would just see things kind of going up into the doorway. And then my father said once he was awoken, and my father doesn't believe in any of this stuff, but I finally got him to admit that one time when he was sleeping, he felt something grab his ankles and pull.
Fuck off.
He woke up and he was like, there was nobody there.
Yeah, I would move out, like, that happened to me. Like, I'd move out if there was a spider in the house and I didn't have anyone to get it out, so...
But like I said, my logical brain says, no, there has to be a rational explanation for this. It can't be, but what is the explanation? I don't know. So there
Creepy.
you go.
Okay.
So, points. 1 for Richard's worthless, shitty coin collection. 2 for Catherine's masks. 3
Scary
for Johnny's
masks.
pub signs. 4 for Daisy's EVPs. And 5 for Moan's emo jars. I didn't get frightened that time. I don't know. It didn't take me as by surprise.
Getting acclimatized. Just wait till next time. I'll have loads more. Maybe 1, 2. I don't know.
All right.
So, first task proper then. It was back to the Taskmaster house. Put these wellies on the spider's feet. You must carry a welly at all times, but you must not carry more than 3 wellies. You must not cut, untie, or snap the twine. Fastest wins.
Right. So they're in the lab, table, 8 wellies, each connected to twine, and there was a apparatus above with the rolls of twine.
Yeah.
And they were of varying lengths, which obviously they couldn't tell until they walked out the door with them.
Mm-hmm.
And the giant spider was out in the garden sitting on the tub, which mostly everyone figured out.
Yeah. Well, most people, I mean, I think Alex said in the episode that Catherine never ever left the room that the task was in or left the area that the task was in until that last task that we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean... I don't know how early on they did that one, but she was just like, spider? What?
Am I the spider? Are you the spider?
Yeah.
Like it was like an existential crisis. Like, you know, are we all
how many legs
spiders?
are in this room? Yeah.
I mean, Daisy tried going out the front door and realized it. So then she went back out through the other door, which was closer to the tub. So she kind of did well that way. And she did it pretty quickly.
Yeah. She just put the wellies on the spider in situ, as it were. Richard, he moved the spider to the front door and put the wellies on. 11 minutes, 48 seconds.
Yeah, not much to say. They both just went about it.
Yeah. There was a little interlude, though, because there was a break after those two, and then Alex came back to his seat late and had to sing his Naughty Boy song.
Yeah.
I think I saw a tweet the day this went out saying, you'll have that song in your head forever. But I'm not sure if it's this song or the song in the other task. I'm guessing it's this one.
I don't have either of them in my head. They were easily forgettable, but yeah.
I liked his little dance that he did with it, touching his toes and doing a little spin.
Yes, you could tell they had rehearsed it because Greg was like, okay, you know, he's signaling to him, make sure you got all the moves in.
Anyway, moving on.
So, yeah, then Johnny
was next.
Yeah, he was like, fuck this. He brought that bitch right inside. I did then have a minor breakdown and assaulted the spider after he broke one of the strings, but...
Yeah, Johnny can come and live with me if he's not frightened of a spider that size, mate. Yeah. I know it wasn't a real spider, but I mean, you know, just the thought of having to go and look for it would have freaked me out, like.
I mean, string breaking aside, he did it in 9 minutes, 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, one... He realised he could move the spider and he took it into the front room, living room, sitting room, lounge, whatever you want to call it. But then he realised he could take the legs off and he had the brainwave to take the legs into the lab. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, he wasted time putting them back on at the end because he didn't realise It didn't matter if the legs weren't attached.
No, it just had to be on the spider's feet. So
yep. Both of them, Johnny and Moan, lost a spider's leg at one point, but then found them.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos.
And then Catherine. Oh, that's all I've written in my notes. Oh, Catherine.
Yeah, I've written down, I honestly think that she's stoned during these tasks. I feel like I might be missing something here, she said. I mean, duh. Sorry, like, I know I do, I love her as well, but oh my god.
Yeah, she's just like, where's the spider? Well, that's part of the test. Well, is it in here? Are you the spider? Am I the spider? Are we? And then she just thought she had a stroke of genius. Flipped the table.
Metal spider. Yeah. Oh. But like when the camera was panning out to the spider outside and you could hear her talking, like, but I honestly feel like I've missed something here. I mean, is there a spider somewhere I'm supposed to find in another room? Yeah, love.
Sweet Catherine. So, but she got a pity point from
Mostly
Greg.
because Greg was horrible about our masks.
Yes, he felt bad. But Johnny got 0 because of the broken string, and Greg just wanted to break him a little bit more.
I think he just likes seeing him lose his shit. Who doesn't?
Absolutely. Come on, it's comedy gold. And then Richard got 3 points, Moan got 4, and Daisy got 5. Now I'm like waiting for it. It's like, are you going to do it?
Yeah. It's part of the podcast already after only an hour.
It's ingrained. So then we've got our final team task, team karaoke task. And I feel like, well, I mean, first of all, so the task is perform this song. You have 20 minutes to prepare your performance. Best all-around performance wins. And Catherine was so confident that they wouldn't need 20 minutes. She was like, oh, we won't. No, it's fine.
She was so excited about getting to sing.
And her little motions, about feelings. And it was hilarious. And I do feel like the happy couple of Richard and Daisy had a slight advantage since they did their task earlier and they didn't have to worry about the social distancing. So they got to do some better choreography with each other, kind of work around each other. Yeah. Trust fall.
Which is brave of Daisy after Richard offered to put a bridle on her and ride her like a horse. I mean, no matter how well you know someone.
And doing a trust fall while pregnant, I mean, you've really got to trust them.
That's a lot of trust.
That's pretty damn good, but.
Yeah, it showed. The song as well, that's, I mean, you probably noticed, but just for anyone that didn't, Will Collier plays bass in the horn section, so that's an original piece by him, I think. I didn't check it, but it's the same guy, same name as one of the guys. So yeah. Somebody you trust.
And
might be on a horn section album somewhere.
Well, and then we have on the other side of the spectrum, the trio outside. Yeah. Johnny was holding a violin for some reason.
Yeah,
Moan had a horn. Yeah. Moan kind of took on the role of hype man.
The horn at the end was the best bit, I think. and Johnny doing it, he got into like the little bit that he was sang.
But it didn't. Yes, it was clearly obvious that they didn't feel the need to rehearse or even listen to the entire song all the way through. And I just love
or even try and compliment each other. It was almost like they'd filmed it separately and then put them all together at the end, like that acting task.
Or like a lot of these Zoom performances that have been going around since lockdown happened, where everybody's doing their own thing and they mix it together. And I just love as soon as they stop it and Catherine just like, it felt better on the day,
It was terrible. Like none of like the singing. Oh man, it was like. My husband does it actually when he's singing sometimes. If he's doing a high bit, he'll sing it a certain way. And if he's doing a lower bit, it sounds like a completely different person singing it, like in a different type of voice. And that's what she was doing.
Yeah, you gotta do all the parts, when you're one-man band.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and like you said, Greg said, individually, if they were okay. And Moan was ready to toss the rest of them away. He's like, well, if you could just score me individually, like, that would be great. He's like, I'm fine leaving them behind.
No chance.
Not a team player,
task,
Moan.
Team task.
So the happy couple there got 5 points each for their excellent choreography and Western-themed wear on Richard, that little cowboy. Hey, you look like a little boy. He was just so happy.
Yeah.
And the trio there, 2 points each. Yeah, we definitely need to mix it up and get some more sounds.
Yeah, we're going to get some more sounds. I just thought about doing it just while I was doing my notes before. I'm going to get some. Yeah, I've got some ideas. So I love it. Task 3. We're back in, I think, the new location, the kind of warehouse type area, right? So this was neatly hang all of Bernard's clothes on the coat rail. You must stay behind the line at all times. Fastest wins. So Bernard is a dummy that's dressed as Where's Wally. He was in a chair in an area marked with tape, like a square, and there was a coat rail outside of the area, outside of reaching distance, and some coat hangers were hidden.
Well, he was kind of dressed like Alex, but with a Where's Wally hat.
Yeah, with a Where's Wally hat.
Or Where's Waldo, as we know him in this country.
Maybe it's because Chesham United. That might be their colours, actually. That's Alex's team. Football, or soccer, as you guys call it. Anyway.
All right. So, I mean, Richard found the hangers right away.
Yeah, because he didn't panic. He
used Bernard to pull the rack in.
Mm-hmm. But he lost a shoe in the process.
Yeah, so that cost him some valuable time in the end trying to get that back. Yeah. But all in all, he did a good job. 8 minutes, 10 seconds.
Yeah, and he used the hangers, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Found them, used them.
Yeah, he found them right away.
Moan got straight down to just stripping Bernard straight away. Then he found the hangers and he used them to make a hooking mechanism, which was pretty cool. But he broke a couple of them in the process.
Very cheap hangers.
Maybe. There was a selection of hangers.
Yeah, there was a few wooden ones and the wire hangers.
Plastic. And the wire ones. Them wire ones, when they get old, they are rubbish.
Yeah.
But yeah, both boys hung everything up fairly neatly, including the shoes.
So. Moan was 9 minutes, 35 seconds. So a little longer than Richard. And then Catherine.
Catherine.
So she kept her feet in the box, kind of crawled out, grabbed the rail, and brought it back. There was some discussion as to whether that was allowable, and Alex said that it did say, not to step out of the box, but that wasn't actually what the task said.
It's not what they read out, no.
No. So, but they allowed it. Greg allowed it, I should say.
I mean, what difference is it going to make?
Well, that's what she said. She's like, please, I'm losing anyway. You know this. Just give me my points. So, she did it. Yeah, so she got it. Everything nice and neat. She felt the need to sniff the underwear. Which I thought was interesting. Does she have children? Does she have boys? Because that would just make sense. Children, I don't know. 5 minutes, 14
she said she did.
Seconds.
Yeah. Then we had Daisy. Now, Daisy tried to throw the clothes neatly onto the rail before using Bernard, throwing Bernard at the rail and losing a lot of his clothes and bursting his head open.
She literally smashed his head in.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't look in a good way by the end of Daisy's attempt. He had part of the coat rail through him, impaled through him.
Well, yeah, because then even after she got most of the clothes back, the hat was hanging out there, so she hooked the bottom of the rack through him, and then used him to drag the hat back. It was... nasty. Poor bastard. And all that took 17 minutes and 9 seconds. So,
So then Alex said he had to go and replace Bernard because he had a big hole in his skull. And then came Johnny.
Yeah.
So Johnny sacrificed his pocket watch.
Yeah. Which he said was just for decoration anyway. So it wasn't...
shame though. It's nice. Yeah.
But yeah, he was
so
like...
he sacrificed it to hook the reel.
He was like some sort of comic book guy, you know, with the magic pocket watches.
Go gadget pocket watch. Yeah.
But yeah, then he even felt the need to hang Bernard on the rack by his horribly stretched out neck. His beautiful, beautiful boy.
Yeah. He put his hat on him though to hide his gaping hole in his head. But it was a classic, you know, murder of passion followed by instant regret, wasn't it? Like
he tried to cover up the crime.
He violently smashed his head open and went, "Oh no, what have I done?" Yeah.
And all that in only 6 minutes, 50 seconds.
It was a whirlwind, a violent whirlwind.
Oh, Lord.
So then points. We had Daisy got 1, Moan got 2, Richard got 3, Johnny got 4, and Catherine got 5.
Ooh, yay, Catherine. She felt so good after that.
Oh, fuck it, I'll do it again. Do it again. Also, like, you know, when Catherine was begging Greg to not disqualify her, did you notice Johnny going, "Don't ask him, don't ask him, don't ask him."
It's like, this isn't you, Johnny. He might actually have a little sympathy for her.
Yeah. Oh, we're on to the live task now.
Yeah. And only 1 point separating Daisy and Richard for series scores going into the final task. So it literally could have been either of them. And yeah, had Daisy won, I mean, that would have been it, the final task.
If Daisy had come second in that live task, it would have been a tiebreaker for the championship.
That's insane.
Because there was only 1 point in it.
Yeah.
And Richard would have got 5, Daisy would have got 4, so it would have been on the same.
Yeah.
So there would have been a tiebreak for the episode and then a tiebreak for the championship. Which I don't think's happened. We've not had a tiebreak for the championship. For the series, sorry. Not championship, it's not sport. For the series. I don't remember. I'd have to check. See,
I can't remember. I don't remember what I did this morning, so...
Yes, you do. You did your notes for this.
Well, that's true.
Oh, cocks, man.
But I don't have to remember that because they're written in front of me.
I'm sure someone will know, or they'll go away and look and they'll correct us. Anyway.
Of course. And it'll probably be Duncan.
Yes, Duncan is very studious.
He's like our unofficial fact checker when we spout bullshit because we can't remember.
If we made any money from this, we would give you a job, Duncan. Okay.
All right. So
we've not even read what the task is. We were talking about who won. So the task was wearing mittens at all times, balance either all the mints or all the biscuits on a spaghetti bridge. The mints or biscuits may only touch biscuits. The mints or biscuits may only touch spaghetti. The spaghettis must be balanced on the coconuts, and the coconuts must remain on their stands. Fastest wins.
So, Richard, right out of the gate,
Silence.
Strung all the mints. Yeah, he didn't look at what anyone else was doing. He didn't care what anyone else was doing. He got all the mints on a couple strands of spaghetti and balanced it right there. Boom.
That's it. Done. No drama. Daisy, on the other hand, all the drama. Yeah.
So she went with biscuits, which
easier to put a bigger aperture to work with, but heavier, obviously.
Yeah.
Which was the downfall.
But so she could have put more spaghetti, but they only had so much spaghetti to work with. And then once it dropped, I mean, there was no recovering. There was just no time, and she just
lost her shit.
She knew that, and she lost her shit.
Yeah, which was fun. She tipped everything all over. She put the mints in her mouth and spat them everywhere. She bit the grapefruit. She threw the coconuts on the floor. If you're going to lose, do it like that, man.
I mean, when you're that close to winning, because like you said, even if she had finished at that point, it would have been a tie.
And then it would have probably been how many green eggs is under the Taskmaster's chair that decided the championship, the series even. I keep saying championship, that decided the series. I think that's what that was there for. That was like a special live tiebreak because they knew it was going to go close, probably.
Yeah, they had to have something ready.
But they got to use it anyway.
Catherine had an interesting approach where she put like a couple on a strand of spaghetti, balanced them, then put a couple more, and it was working for a while.
Yeah, well, Moan just put a load of spaghetti and piled all the biscuits up.
Yeah.
And he did that pretty quickly as well,
Yeah. It got him second place in the task.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny, forget it. Coconut fell off.
Johnny was doing some mad shit. He was biting into grapefruits and trying to make little hats for the coconut. I don't know what he was doing, like. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so the only two to get points in that task were Milan got 4 and Richard got 5. Everybody else out. Which brought the episode scores to Johnny 9, Catherine 10, Daisy 15, and Milan and Richard both 17. So we had to have a tie break for the episode, which brings us to the green eggs under Greg's chair, and they had to just simply make a guess.
How pleased was Greg about the eggs being under his chair?
He was like, "Ooh, I'm involved."
Oh, bless him. Yeah. So Moan guessed 8, Richard guessed 6, and they were 2. Nothing else to say about that. No skill, pure luck, purely luck.
Absolutely.
So Richard won.
So that put our final series scores to Catherine 118, Johnny 139, Milan 151, so he wasn't too far behind. Daisy 158 and Richard at 162.
That's it.
Richard is our champ, and I mean we know he wanted it.
He did, and he was gracious as well. He was gracious in his victory. And Daisy was,
but boy, Daisy, she really wanted it.
Yeah, well, I think she, like Alex said, she was leading for a lot of the series. She was leading going into the last task, and then she dropped her biscuits. And that's how it just goes down, isn't it? Yeah. She was a great contestant. You drop your biscuits, it was a great series. And that's it. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely,
they were all brilliant. They were all brilliant. It's not. I think sometimes you can be like one person, one contestant you're not that keen on, but all the other ones are great. But so it's unusual to get all of them. I think, well, for me anyway, because I get annoyed quite easily. So, but I liked every single one of them.
Yeah, and especially when there's somebody like I was not familiar with Milan at all prior to this series of Taskmaster, and since then I've looked up some of his stuff on YouTube and everything, and just from seeing him on the show, I adore him.
Brilliant.
He's funny
brilliant.
and
I love him, lovely boy.
And which kind of brings us into the cast announcement for series 11, because 3 of the 5 people I have no idea who they are.
Come on then, who didn't you know?
So, Charlotte Ritchie.
Yeah. She was in Fresh. She's an actress. She was in Fresh Meat, and she was in something that you probably like, actually.
Okay.
She was in a really popular comedy sitcom that came out just recently called Ghosts.
I haven't seen Ghosts, but I do remember Fresh Meat. I didn't know her by
Lolly's
name,
in that.
and it didn't.
Lolly's in that as well, in Ghosts. So.
Oh, I do love Lolly.
You should watch it.
She's hilarious.
It was written, I think, by the group that wrote Horrible Histories. And it's about this young couple who is Charlotte Ritchie and I can't remember the actor's name, but they move into they go and buy this huge mansion that's haunted by these really friendly, lovely ghosts that are all really funny. But she can see them and hear them, or she can hear them. Yeah, she can.
Okay,
she can hear them. I think she can see them as well, but her husband can't. And they're trying to get it they're trying to do the place up and make it into a B&B or something like that. And the ghosts are like, no. But there's just so many ghosts in it. It's so funny. It's really good.
And hijinks and hilarity.
Yeah. It's a really nice, warm, family friendly, I'd say, comedy. There's nothing really dark or anything in it.
I mean, as you can tell, I didn't know who these people were, nor did I bother to look them up because it's a bit busy. We're in the run up to Christmas here. I've got a lot going on.
I wouldn't have known her by name, but I know her face, so obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, next one was Jamali Maddox.
Yeah, Jamali, he's great. He's a stand-up, British stand-up.
I don't know him.
He was on, if you want to get a small introduction to him, he was on Rod Gilbert's podcast recently. I listened to him on there with Rod and Sean, another Taskmaster alumni. But yeah, stand-up.
And then, obviously, the great Lee Mack.
Lee Mack, everyone knows who Lee Mack is, yeah.
Yes. and think we're both very excited about that. I think he's going to be brilliant. He's somebody who I think a lot of people have been wanting on the show, and I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, he'll be good.
And then Mike Wozniak, obviously, Man Down is our favorite thing to watch him on.
Yeah, anyone who knows Man Down knows that Mike is Brian, who is one of Dan's best friends, and he's also Bear. Yeah. And if you should know about Greg and his bear. So if you've not seen Man Down, watch it. What have you been doing? Get it watched. It's on everywhere. It's on all four. It's on Sky Box Sets. It's on Netflix. It's everywhere. Get it watched.
Even in the U.S., for our American fans, it's on Netflix here. So I'm very excited about that. I think he's going to be brilliant as well. And then we've got Sarah Kendall, who I don't know.
She's an Australian stand-up writer and actress. I don't know much about her. I think she's Australian. I'm pretty sure she's Australian. So yeah, I'll have to go and have a look at some of her stuff. But she was in a sitcom. I can't remember the name of it now. I've not seen it yet, but it's apparently very good. So yeah, we'll find that out and put a link to it, maybe.
Yeah, I think we'll probably do a little bit of our usual research and talk about them a bit more when we do the episode for the New Year's treat. Yeah. And speaking of that, so Melon Buffet Master, we had discussed this on our originally recorded episode 9 that we lost. We're not going to discuss any of the entries now because there's so many of them, because some of you had fallen behind and we're catching up, and
great effort,
we want to make sure, I mean, you guys have been amazing. You're really getting into it. We want to make sure we get every entry. So what we're going to do is between now and the New Year's treat recording, we're going to scour Twitter and the email and everything, make sure we've covered every entry. We will respond to you to tell you we've got it, because we want to make sure we don't miss anything ahead of the last recording. So if there is a task that you don't get a reply from us by, say, New Year's Day, retweet it, DM it, email it, whatever.
Let us know.
And we'll let you know when we're getting ready to record, so you know, hey, I haven't heard from them about this, or they didn't respond to that. And we will then do our Melon Buffet Master Championship reveal with the New Year's treat episode, which that was the other thing I had talked about on the Series 9, which I can't say too much about, but I got to attend the virtual studio, quote unquote, studio recording of the New Year's treat episode, because they weren't able to do it in the theater how they had. I can't speak right now. In the same way they had done Series 10 and 11 to get the audience reactions. So they did a virtual stream of it, and unfortunately Charley couldn't do it because she has a real job and had to work.
Damn work.
And I won't say anything about it because we're not supposed to speak about it. I don't want to give any spoilers.
No, you did say it was good, and that you'd like to see them do a proper series with those contestants, which is
absolutely. I would have loved to have seen more, because they really were all fantastic, and it was a great episode, and I think everybody's really going to enjoy it.
Is it original tasks?
For
it, or is it rehash?
Yeah, no, it is. Original. It's all original tasks, and
brilliant.
Yeah, I think everybody was really into it, and it was a lot of fun, and I would have loved to have seen more. It really left me wanting more, and it was a little disappointing that it was only a one-off episode.
Well, I think we said when we did the original recording as well that, I think partially this is a bit of a test to see how it would go down with non-comedians, because there has been talk of that. So, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. It'll give them a whole new batch of contestants to choose from, if they weren't just choosing people in the comedy world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great.
So we will be back for the New Year's treat, and we'll do Melon Buffet Master then, and then we will discuss what we're going to do going forward.
Yep. Well, there's going to be a Champion of Champions 2 as well. It's confirmed from the official Taskmaster Twitter. So
did they discuss when, or they haven't really said anything about it yet?
No, they just said that, Richard, you're cordially invited to Champion of Champions 2.
I assume they're going to try and do it before Series 11.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, we're expecting Series 11 in April.
Yeah, so that gives them a bit of time.
Probably. So yeah, we'll have the New Year treat, and then Champions will only be a couple of episodes, won't it? So yeah, it could be any time.
So obviously, whenever that happens, we will be recording for it.
Yeah,
and we're coming up with some other ideas of things to do in between series, because you guys have been asking for it. We have decided that we're not going to do a straight discussion of previous series.
Yeah, not the way we do these episodes, but we're thinking of a way to do some of the older series. But we'll let you know once we know.
Yeah, once we kind of firm that up and finish discussing our ideas, and when we're ready to do that, you guys will know. And as always, if you have any ideas, suggestions, comments, whatever, send them to melonbuffet@gmail.com, or reach us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything else you just want to say, @melonbuffet. Otherwise, we will see you right after the new year.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Had to get a last one in there.
Jackass. All right. Bye.